New insight on what's on Americans' minds as we count down to the first in the nation primary in New Hampshire. Polling from Pat Caddell's own Armada Publishing showing 66% of respondents say the U.S. is in a state of decline. 28% disagree with that. 72% say the U.S. has a two-track economy, where most Americans struggle every day and huge corporations get all the rewards. 20% disagree with that. The Fox News political insiders are back. So, Pat, I want to start with you on this. Let's start in the state of decline. I've just asked people to take a vote, Twitter poll, and see what they think. Do they agree or disagree? What specifically did people point to?
Well, the things they point to most of all when they point to Washington. But let me just back up, though, and make a point. This is a project I started involved in 2013. We've done 6 pieces of this now. Trying to understand, but it started with a premise: is there a different politics than we're told are? And the answer resoundingly is yes. We are having a new paradigm, and that paradigm we see even partially is already being played out politically. The nations think, 2/3 of the American people think the country is in decline, and I think the only people who've used that word are Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. By the way, just put it. The second thing is it's corruption. When you have 81, now get this, this is from left to right. 81% believe that the power of ordinary people to control our country is getting weaker every day. The politicians are fighting to protect their own power. 84% they put their power and privilege before what's doing right for Americans. And 3/4 of them believe that Wall Street and special interests have rigged the system against the American people. And that is Democrats, Republicans alike. And the other thing is, it's clear in here, they have had it with both parties. They have decided that the people running the parties are so far away from what they feel. And they've been looking, and one thing I would say about this, what we had was an imaginary candidate, Smith. And it's too hard to get into now. But this Smith, he or she, blows away everybody running because they are looking for the whole package, and they're not getting it.
Well, they're never going to get anything perfect, but they're looking for what's different than what's out there. So, John, does this help explain why some of the polling has been so wrong about who people say they'll vote for, particularly going into, well, really,
no.
I mean, historically in the last few years, but now in this now primary
I don't
season.
know why pollsters they've been off a lot lately, the public polls. You know, I don't know if the campaign polls are off, but I think the thing that Pat hit on, yes, Trump and Sanders are tapping into a little bit of this stuff, but there's still room for someone who's even more of an outsider, more of a revolutionary.
Well, who would that be?
Well, let's ask Doug, seriously.
Well,
could
look,
Mike Bloomberg be that?
I wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal on Thursday saying that I believe Mike Bloomberg, who is a nonpartisan centrist, never been in Washington, successful businessman, successful mayor, can bring together the 50 to 60% of Americans, I call it the new silent majority, who really respond to what Pat was talking about. Now, the fit is not perfect. I understand that. But candidly, there is so much of a groundswell in America for something different than the politics of division, polarization, negative ads that Bloomberg represents. He is a potential, very serious candidate should he decide to run.
But I think also what they're looking for is truth. We had a question in the poll. It's not in this part we've released yet, where almost 70% of Americans say that, as opposed to politicians always lie, whatever, that somehow we now have reached a lower tier where politicians lie about everything all the time. The American people want their sovereignty back. It's not, they're not looking for
that's a statement.
They're not looking for just a leader. They're looking to take a role in their own country. So movement will matter. I believe that the opening, I heard yesterday the leading, and I won't say his name, the the veteran, the greatest veteran, the dean of the political reporters on the trail. Okay. Dan Ball said in an interview, when asked about the great middle, because he was being asked, well, my God, the Democrats are going far left, the Republicans far right, and he said, so what about the center? He said, there is no center.
All right. Lisa
there
Teague,
is. It's gigantic.
Lisa Teague writes on Twitter,
Okay.
is it too late to change course?